Taurus. I'm here to give you just a love bite. Oh, wild card read straight from the hip with lots of hip, lots of hip, lots of hip. We're going to give it extra hip, okay? Throw your back into it, Taurus. What can I say? Oh, I like the way you back it up. All right, Taurus. Maybe that's what time it is. That's what time it is. Maybe your Ted says yes. Okay. Maybe you're backing up to recover a lost opportunity. That's possible, Taurus. I meant to say straight from the hip with lots of lip, all right? I think this is already going to be an interesting read here, all right? We're getting a little bit mouthy, maybe, perhaps. Take that as you will. All right, this is for any significant Taurus placement. So if you happen to have a prominent placement in that second house, or if you are a Scorpio rising, that makes you a Taurus descendant. And you'll find a lot of resonance with these messages. In fact, these reads for the Venus transits really do look into your descendant sign. It can tell you so much about what's coming up in matters of the heart. This is a love read, all right? And we're going to dive right into it. I did get an initial download for you, and that's that somebody that had you blocked, likely on social media. You could have had somebody blocked. Somebody could have blocked you. This is some romantic interest, okay? I do feel like somebody removed the block and somebody's going to discover that. You know, it's like they still held out hope. Maybe they'll lift the block someday, okay? This is something that was recently lifted, block recently lifted, okay? And this lover, it feels like a lover energy, all right? It's coming through as fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is going to like shoot a shot, you know, or you could be shooting your shot. It just depends, you know, either way. You thought there was some blockage in place, and so you just had been refraining from even trying. You may have even been a little bit sore when you found out a blockage was in place, or they were a little sore. Whoever did the blocking in this situation has recently lifted the blocks because they're secretly hoping that the person will reach out and connect with them. I do feel like a communication is going to come in. It's going to be quite passionate, and somebody's going to want to move things forward really rapidly in this situation. Bottom of the deck energy. We got the 8 of Swords, okay? You're not aware of this yet. Somebody's not aware of this yet. They're not aware that the blocks have been lifted, okay? There's something they've been holding inside for a long time. And it's because the blocks were in place, they've really felt trapped in their head like, I wish I could say this. I wish I could let this person know, like, this is how I'm feeling. I feel so frustrated. Like, I feel like I have no power to move this thing forward. And I really, really want to. I really want to, but I'm stuck, man. What am I supposed to do? For a rare few of you, somebody may have gotten really caught up. They may have gotten themselves into some kind of legal trouble. They might have been, you know, doing a little time, and maybe that's why you haven't heard from them. Maybe for some of you, you're getting a call from somebody who, you know, got thrown in the slammer, okay? They're calling up, can you bail me out? It's possible, okay? This could be a little bit of like a rebellious kind of energy, somebody who's very impulsive, somebody who flies by the seat of their pants. This could be somebody who's a little bit of an outlaw, okay? They have that vibe. They could be a bit of a player kind of energy just to help you kind of clue in, all right? That's for some of you. For the vast majority of you, though, this is really coming through as, you know, somebody's wanted to take an action, but they felt like, I can't, I'm blocked. And then it's sort of like they get this like last minute of hope. Well, maybe I'll just try. Like, maybe I'll just try. Maybe you get an intuition about it, and then you find out, oh, wait, the blocks are removed, or they do. Okay, so either way, some kind of communication is coming through here. I think when this communication comes through instantly, you want to guard your heart. And also you want to hold it close to your heart, okay? You also feel like, I don't want to let anybody know that the blocks have been lifted and I'm actually talking to this person, because if I do, it could sabotage the new beginning I want with them. You really want this. Like, you're holding on to it for dear life, okay? You don't want to lose this opportunity because you know what it feels like to lose it. You've already lost it before. And now it's like, okay, the blockages are removed. I know I got one shot to get this right. I'm not going to blow it. Let me see what the basis of the matter is on that. And it's to speak a certain truth. It's to actually like let down the guard. There's love communicated here. This is a declaration of love with the Ace of Swords, okay? It's communication that's been held in the heart for a very long time. Somebody's been too scared. Like they felt like if I let you know that I love you, like you're going to use that against me. You're going to weaponize my love and you're going to use it against me. But, you know, like it or not, this communication is coming in. I do see it coming in. I mean, I think you've been very focused on your healing, especially through Aquarius season. You've been just sort of like tending, you know, your own lawn. You've been like taking care of your own house, and interesting that it's coming through that way, but maybe that's what it's been about. You've been really focused on just sort of like tending to things at home and taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself. Maybe you've also felt like I'm the one who's had to like nurture everything, take care of everything. I'm trying to keep balanced, you know, I'm trying to keep the hope in this situation, but you also may have been going through a difficult time where you've been doing a fair share of like emotional purging, I feel like, just like cleansing away old, heavy energy, old, heavy emotions, you know, past experiences. And you may have really just like hit this place where you're like, you know what, I just really need to focus on myself right now. There's some things I need to reflect on. I need to do some deep healing work. And I can't really worry about this right now. That might have been why the boundaries were put in place in the first place. Whether somebody else put them on you or you put them on another, either way, it served its purpose. I do feel like there's been a lot of reflection here. There's been healing here. And in the meantime, a hope that you once had is being renewed, okay, without you realizing it. It's more like once you let go, once that space and distance was created, then there was the opportunity for sort of like personal accountability in this situation. Sort of like you each individually need to be in a place of readiness for this. I mean, so much of the collective is dealing with this right now. There's a lot that's wrapping up in this cycle from when you were in the North Node position, Taurus. Okay, so there's a lot that's coming around the bend right now from way back in the summer of 2021, right? There's a lot that's coming around to be completed. Okay, so I feel like there's been a lot of reflecting time between then and now, right? And things look a lot different now. I think you are starting to come more into a place of emotional balance as well. And just as you're about to hit this point, there is, you know, this message of love that's coming in. Again, fire sign energy very strongly here. Leo energy pretty strong here. This could also be an Aries. This could be a Sagittarius. I do see that there is something that has been kind of like hung up at the crossroads. It was put on pause. A new view was needed to be gained in this situation before there could be a renewal, rebirth in this situation. It's because there was a karmic cycle that needed to close. Something was not in balance in this situation. And there really needed to be a clear view of this. Oh, I didn't even notice this. This came out with the Hangman here. We also have this Six of Cups, right? This is like soulmate energy. And it could be that somebody was having feelings stirred up from their childhood, like stuff that made them feel really vulnerable in this situation that was a problem, you know. This person needed to do some personal healing work before they could be ready to even, you know, open up their heart to a relationship. This could be a very old connection. You could feel like this person is a soulmate. You may have history with this person. You and this person may go way back, okay? Could be a Pisces, all right, as well. Piscean energy coming in there. Could be dealing with any kind of past energy as well. I do feel like this is somebody that feels like a soulmate and it's a past connection. It's a past connection that's going to reach out to you, and you're going to communicate something that couldn't be expressed in the past. I feel like it's cleansing communication that's coming through in this situation. I do feel like it's going to lead you into a little bit of this place of confusion after you receive this communication. In the past, you might have been really caught up in it. It's sort of like you would have gotten really swept away by this communication. It would have cast a sort of glamour around you. But there's this part of you that knows better right now. You know that, wait a minute, I need to get my space here. You might have been more impulsive in the past, and now you're more measured in your actions. You really want to move into an opportunity perhaps, but at the same time, you know, a lot weighs up in that balance that you need to consider. Okay, give me some more details about this for Taurus. Now, Taurus, you do have Venus heading into your sign later this month. In fact, I have the date written down here. Where is that? Let me see. Where is that? Where did it go? I have it written down here somewhere. Mercury conjunct Venus. That's on April 19th, okay? And that's when the sun enters your sign, okay? So do look for that to be kind of a highlighted time for you when this communication may come in. It's from a soulmate, all right? They're wanting to work something out. You go way back with this person. And do remember, soulmates come in many different forms, all right? There's something that needs to be karmically completed here. That's what I got with the world, okay? You could be dealing with a fixed sign energy. So there may be something you need to bring to completion in order to balance out some karma before you can move forward in your love story. I got that, okay? And it's very personally significant for you, Taurus, all right? Because Taurus and Scorpio, you know, Scorpio rising as a Taurus descendant, are both fixed signs, okay? So there is something that's in need of transformation and completion here, so you can get to the other side where you can start really like being in a place of true fulfillment in your love story here. Let's see what this opportunity is. What's coming in here? You could be dealing with a Leo too, or an Aquarius. We got a couple Aquarian significators on the board here. So let's see what is being transformed here. What's being transformed, and what is it bringing into Taurus's romantic love life, huh? What's coming in here for Taurus? What does Taurus need to see here? Something coming through communication, okay? I do feel it's going to give you an option, and instead of just acting on it right away. Ooh, interesting. Now, the Lovers in reverse landed right on top of this King of Wands. So I feel like you're making a choice to not renew this. I have to say, somebody's wanting to end this separation. They're wanting to turn this situation around, and the other is saying, no, I'm no longer interested in renewing this contract. And yet this moves you out of this place of feeling conflicted, like at the crossroads. It's a bit of a tower. You might be, you know, a bit surprised to hear this communication. All right. I think you're surprised to hear from them, or you may be surprised by the response or what they have to say. I feel like the communication is surprising. The communication is a bit of a tower, but it's good because it breaks you out of this place of inertia. It definitely gets you moving forward. And maybe you've kind of been in this place for a while with the Seven of Cups, where you've been like trying to weigh things out, and you know, your energy's been sort of scattered in many different directions. You might have felt confused. One minute you felt drawn in a particular direction and you thought you had it all figured out. Then the next direction presents itself and it starts like, ooh, look at that squirrel. You know, it's got a little bit of that sort of like distracted sort of energy. You might have had different options you were exploring, even though you never like represented that. I got it's interesting. It's sort of like, are you somebody who kind of like keeps your options open on a certain level? Like you maintain certain connections with exes and so forth because you hope to kind of always keep a little bit of a foot in the door. In case it doesn't work out with this option, then I can go and head in this direction. There's something about that that actually is a little bit like not being all in, not being fully committed in a particular direction. And this might have been an influence that was keeping you pulled in two different directions, or maybe a choice between two for a long time. And this was sort of like a glamour you had cast on yourself. You didn't recognize that you were the source of that conflict because you weren't fully in, you weren't fully invested in a direction. There's something about the communication that comes in here that makes things very crystal clear to you about what direction you need to pull out of and where you should invest in a new beginning in love, right? And you're really understanding the way that you have kind of been the one holding things up. I got that. And it's because you've kept your options open. I feel like there's an elimination of options. Now, I have to say, with the way it's coming through here, somebody could be eliminating that option for you. This communication could be coming through as closure to say, okay, this is done. We're not going to, pursue this. And it's like surprising to hear because maybe you never anticipated it, but it's the thing that sets you free. And for others of you, it's you really hearing through this communication what this person has to say. It makes a choice crystal clear for you. And you recognize that I cannot continue to have all these options, because as long as I continue to have all these options, even the things I hold in reserve that I'm not really calling options, but that's what they are, because I'm still holding space in my heart for them. And as long as I'm doing that, I'm not really allowing myself to pour into a particular love story. Like somebody here is really wanting a soulmate connection, a deep soulmate connection, They want that thing that seems like this is meant to be, right? And yet they're keeping all these doors open, just a crack, So, well, in case it doesn't work out here, then I can go here. That is not really investing in your love story. So something's made very decisive about this communication, and you're understanding the way you kind of like, you didn't call it that, but that's what it was. You were keeping your options open, and it was sort of like keeping you from having that love you desired, right? Something about this block getting taken down, okay? I got it's like a social media block, and having a communication with this person, it crystallizes everything. It suddenly makes the choice very clear. You may not expect the way it turns out. There's something surprising about the way it turns out, okay? Let me do one final run of the deck here. Then we'll do a split of the deck, and I'll get kind of like an overarching theme card for you. Okay, nothing else wanted to come out there. So let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got. 9 of Swords, all right? So this is some kind of past anxiety, past energy, could be Leo related that's sort of been hanging over you. Yeah, this energy could have kept you stuck for a long time. It's an energy that's had you caught up in your head for a long time. So that's why this is coming back around, because there is definitely something that needs to be resolved here, right? In order to be free of a particular energy. Now, some of you may have been telling yourselves a particular story. Some of you may have been saying, oh, I think this person like did a binding on me and they've kept me trapped. Oh yeah, that's some of your stories, okay? They've done something to hold me back from being, with my true love, I have to say, if that's the case, you have to really understand when we're looking at the 8 of Swords, no, that's you allowing this person to have power over you, You're in some way wanting to stay tethered to that past story because there's some kind of quest for power that you have to overcome here. Like you've let something in the past have too much power over you. And so you like to kind of villainize this particular person and say, oh, they must be doing this and that and the other to keep me from uniting for my true love. But that's not true. It's like as soon as you step out of this victim mentality or blaming something in the past for being what's disrupting your ability to come into union, you come into union, right? With the 2 of Cups. It requires you to make a decisive choice here, though, okay? And this could be in relation to an Aquarius. Aquarius came up quite a bit. This is also any air sign energy. We had Gemini come up as well. So Aquarius, Gemini factoring in strongly. I do believe this is like South Node Libra work that you're doing right now, okay? You're trying to balance out a real long stint of, heavy stuff in a particular relationship that was a bit of a karmic lesson for you, okay? For all of you, there is soulmate energy here. You were meant to come into connection with these people I got, okay? So it's more than one person. There's multiple people involved in this situation. But this is being tied up and come to a place of completion. And through some communication that comes through in relation to this, you're really learning where you belong. And it's like there's a line that's being drawn under the past. And I feel like you're making full investment of your heart in the direction that you know is true for you. Now that you're seeing things clearly after this communication comes in, all right? That's what I got. Let's do an overarching theme card. Yeah, you're going to take a leap of faith. I see that with Anye, leap of faith here, all right? Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. You see, you got to go with the path of heart. This is so important here. And I think that's where this communication is going to be very helpful for you. It's really going to let you know what your path of heart is, Taurus, okay? So since it's the Venus transits we're working with, I thought we'd bring in the goddess energy. So let's just get sort of an overarching theme of Taurus's love story during these times of Venus transits. There's like this triad of Venus transits that's leading us up to that full moon in Scorpio, the moon of primal forces, when I really feel is going to be an igniting point for the path ahead. So something is coming to culmination here in a particular story, and it's opening up a new road. But you are going to really have to trust your heart, and you're going to have to take a leap of faith. You got to jump the fence already. You can't ride the fence, Taurus. You have to make a firm decision here and be all in. You can't have 1 foot in the past and 1 foot, you know, in your hope for future. That's just going to make you feel divided. And then that's the way it's coming out. I just got to call it plain as day. I mean, it's pretty clear, man. Yeah, Aphrodite, inner goddess. This is about really knowing your own inner worth too, and the type of love you're ready to receive. And it's about being balanced in that energy too. Remember that Aphrodite energy is not just love, but war as well. And there might have been too much of this kind of competitive vibe that really like spoiled an opportunity as well, I have to say. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So this is really about knowing what you're worth, knowing where you want to be met in terms of your love relationships, and letting that kind of be your guide, as opposed to, you know, just getting one over on the past. There's a little bit of this energy here that needs to be cleansed away, Taurus. Let's see what this is. What goddess is helping Taurus out with these Venus transits so they can step into the most empowering love story for them in their future? All right. I mean, this is interesting. It's Nematona, sacred space, but it's coming up in reverse, okay? Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. It's in reverse, though. So I feel like this is the issue here. There's some kind of deep healing work that needs to happen within a relationship. The problem is the proper space hasn't been held around it. There needs to be a respectful space created where people can really feel safe healing what needs to be healed here. And there's some kind of violation of that space. I feel like it's a violation of intimacy that potentially has been created in this space that's preventing this coming together, this healing of a relationship. I'm feeling that's how it's speaking very strongly. I really do. This could be like sharing personal stuff that's supposed to be between the two of you with outside people. This can be sharing something with a friend, you know, of you know, the gender you're attracted to, okay, whoever you're attracted to, you know, sharing it with that person as a way to, you know, you tell yourself, oh, I'm just leaning on them for support. I'm just trying to get some helpful advice. Meanwhile, you're starting to have an emotional affair, okay? It's actually causing a violation in a love relationship. This is sharing details that are supposed to be intimate with people who should not have them. This is butting into somebody else's emotional healing process and their relationship and inserting yourself as a third party. So there's many different ways that this can play out, but in some way in this situation, the proper space has not been held around heartfelt communication that needs to come forward so there can be a healing in this situation. So with this still being in reverse here, I feel like this is the imbalance that needs to be addressed in this situation. And this is where the work is to be done. So I feel like first this involves you coming into that place within yourself, really articulating what is it that you need to communicate? What is your core truth? And where do you feel there isn't that safe space for you? And likewise, holding your peace in that and really considering where have you perhaps compromised that space for another? And it's through arriving at that middle point that you're able to find a constructive way to have a meeting of hearts and for a healing to be possible that up till now was blocked.